It's a beautiful Monday, February 9th, and you're listening to the Oklahoma Breakdown with Ikard and Lehman, presented by Riverwind Casino. Riverwind is Oklahoma City's premier casino experience, and there are so many reasons why Riverwind is consistently voted OKC's #1 casino, but it all starts with their amazing variety of gaming thrills and excitement. Riverwind's beautiful award-winning environment plays host to more than 2,800 of the latest electronic games with a huge selection of table games, including blackjack match roulette, and Teddy's favorite, craps. No matter what your game, Riverwind has it in spades and hearts. And to learn more about their gaming promotions and entertainment options, all you got to do is visit riverwind.com. Riverwind Casino, always a good time. And OU men's basketball won a game.
Oh my gosh.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Football guys talking basketball, but it didn't lack stress, but they won.
Do not turn the channel with Oklahoma basketball.
Oh my gosh. We'll get there. We'll talk Super Bowl and winners and losers. We'll talk Olympics and winners and losers. We'll talk some softball season, Ted.
Football guys talking softball. Gotta love it.
We're going to put that in winners and losers as well. Just a little mention. But let's start by reviewing OU's transfer portal class. We've taken a look as these guys committed individually. We kind of took a look at each guy, but we really haven't taken a look at the class as a whole.
Right.
And when you look at it, you've got 16 guys. And let's start on the offensive side of the ball. Clearly, this staff, that there was a big emphasis in bringing guys in on the offensive side out of the portal. You've got 11 guys added on offense out of the portal. Meanwhile, you only got 5 on defense. And who knows, maybe they end up adding a guy or two here over the next couple of weeks. We'll see. But let's look at these 16 and start on the offensive side of the ball. So you had one running back with Colorado State's Lloyd Avant. You added 3 wide receivers with Parker Livingston, Trell Harris, and Mackenzie Allen. Did we ever find out if it's Allen or Aline?
I didn't find out.
Okay. We're going with Allen until someone else tells us. Just a fancy way to spell Allen.
That's right.
You added 3 tight ends. Hayden Hanson, Rocky Beers, Jack Van Dorselaer. And then with the addition of Eastern Kentucky's Fred Hinton, you're up to 4 offensive linemen.
Yep.
Amarion Harris, Peyton Joseph, Caleb Nitta, and Fred Hinton. With those guys in mind, those 11 offensive guys, who is the guy that absolutely needs to come in and help right away, Ted?
In my opinion, it's the easiest call. It's Hayden Hanson for me. You play some of the other pieces in. I like what we did at wide receiver. I like that we added depth at the offensive line, and maybe there's an opportunity to break into the starting lineup on the offensive line. But straight up, in my opinion, the biggest impact on our offense right out of the gate is Hayden Hanson. Run game blocking, pass game blocking, because of how well-rounded he is in those 2 areas, I think it's going to really unlock the offense. My hope is that it unlocks the offense. And then you can build him in. If the run game improves like I hope, you can build him in and all the play action stuff. I don't expect him to be a huge weapon offensively I don't think he's going to catch 65 balls and have, 15 touchdowns. And maybe things change. I don't know. But the impact automatically right out of the gate in the run game and the passing game is going to open everything up to where then maybe he does turn into a big weapon offensively. But there should be impact day one right away. Whenever we walk out to spring practice and see the first time they're in pads, we should be able to say, oh, this looks different.
He's got to be good.
Yep.
If he isn't the player that you and I think he can be, that the staff thinks he can be, that the staff thinks he is, then we're going to have the same problems we had a year ago at the tight
And
end
it would
spot.
and it would be shocking if he's not, because we see the guy's played as many snaps as anyone in the SEC. He's going to be going up against the same players, the same caliber of guys. So it would be a shock if, outside of barring injury, if it's not what you see is what you get with him, in my opinion. That's the hope, anyways.
Well, I'm with you. And I said it, we would have the same problems. I think Beers, Van Dorselaer, and Hansen all together. I mean, the argument can be made that you are better with all three of those guys than what you had a year ago when it comes to an all-around tight end.
Any one of those guys individually may be in a better spot than any of the guys we had last year. Again, like you said, in an all-encompassing type of situation.
Do I think any of these guys run as well as Kanak? No, I do not. But as we saw, there's a lot more to play in that position than just being able to run and catch the ball.
Yep.
So, but out of all those guys, like Hansen is the guy that undoubtedly needs to come in day one and be a dude.
Yep.
Because if he is a dude, it changes so much in so many ways for Ben Arbuckle and John Mateer in this offense. They can do so many more things compared to what they were able to do last year. But Hayden Hansen has to be a dude. He just can't be a guy, man. And that's the expectation, right?
No doubt. No doubt. It'll just look better having a guy as big as he is standing on the end of the line next to the offensive tackle.
I think Hansen's the right answer. You know, when you're answering the question, hey, which one of these offensive portal guys has to be a contributor, has to be a dude right away? I do think Amarion Harris is in the conversation there as well.
Yeah.
I do not know what the dollar figure was, but typically if you're getting offensive tackles that have started a bunch of games in the SEC, they're not typically cheap, Ted.
Yep.
And he's more than capable. Let me clarify. If he makes the improvements I think he's going to make as a player, technically and frankly, just from an attitude standpoint, if he makes the improvements I think he can make under Bill Beatonbow and Clayton Woods, I think he could be your starting right tackle. And if you're able to acquire a starting offensive tackle out of the portal, like that's a big deal, man. You know what I mean?
No doubt. And he can, if he progresses the way that we hope, has a chance to change the equation, change the formula on the offensive line. You know, however you get your best five out there, like I don't know what that looks like, but you know, a big part of that is Fogier playing right tackle or is he playing guard somewhere? And you know, if you can get as good a play at right tackle as what we expected him to grow into out of Harris, then I mean, you get to add another, you know, premium offensive lineman on the interior, which we're going to need.
I think the assumption is that right side is going to be some combination of Ozida, Fogier, and Harris.
Yeah.
May the best two win, you know?
No
but
doubt.
You're going to need all three of them.
Yep. We've been down this road a million times.
If anyone knows it, it's us. You know? Yep. So that's where I do think they need Amarion Harris to be, I don't know if he's capable of being an absolute dude, but they need him to be dude adjacent, you know?
Yep.
They need him to be more than a guy.
Yep.
These are all technical terms, people, clearly. I think you all are picking
really
up what
know
I'm putting
football
down.
to know what a guy is.
Yeah. So he, at the very least, he needs to be somewhere in between a guy and a dude. How about that?
Yep. That's right.
If he's somewhere in between those two, fantastic.
Yep.
But we've learned how important it is in this league, especially. You got to be solid along the offensive line.
Yep.
And I add tight end into that stuff, like with how involved they are in the running game, some of the pass protection stuff. But it would go a long, long way if Amarion Harris is ends up being a really, really good player for us.
Yeah. And that's not like this conversation is not to say that I or maybe we don't love what we did at wide receiver. Trell Harris, dude, okay,
But
already shown.
hey, wait, we're dropping the Trell Harris in the weeds on Tuesday.
Yeah,
I think you'll be able to feel our excitement as we go through some of his top plays from last season.
he's great. Parker Livingston, what he did last year, I think there's some really good stuff to build on. But a lot of that doesn't matter if you don't shore up the offensive line and the running game. And that's why all of the, my focus, like where I think the biggest impact is tied in offensive line. If those two pieces come together like you hope, the wide receiver stuff's going to take care of itself. Like if you could run the ball and have success, you could protect the quarterback. Everything's going to open up for where those skill guys could really go and you can see the value that they bring. But if we're still treading water on the line of scrimmage and at the tight end spot, it's going to be just like we've seen the last couple of years where we got a lot of wide receiver talent, but you just can't access it.
I've got a question for you, and then we'll
Go
move
ahead.
on to the defense.
Okay.
You can only pick one guy of the offensive transfers. You only pick one of the 11 that you are most confident at some point in his career. So it doesn't have to be the 2026 season, but at some point in his career, he will be an all SEC player. Who are you picking? Yeah, I know it's a good question. I know.
That is a great question. I'm I'm kind of tempted to say Van Dorselaer
Dang it. That's who I was going to pick.
because he's got like the foundation is there. He's got a lot of eligibility left. The foundation is there. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that Hayden Hansen could do that, but I think Van Dorselaer has the chance to maybe be a little bit more of a piece of the passing game down the road and maybe right out of the gate. I don't want to act like this is some type of project with him. Dude played a lot of snaps last year, and I think he's going to play a ton this year. But I mean, he's got all the makings of a legit every down can do everything tight end.
Would it shock you if I picked Livingston?
No,
I think he's a really talented guy. And a lot of my reasoning is simply because of the decision he made. Only a crazy person does that.
hey, not only does just a crazy person do that, but it also comes with the spotlight, you know? And when you've got a spotlight and you go out and you make some plays, people love to grab a hold of those stories.
I think he can be a really productive player.
Yeah.
I think he's got the size and a skill set. It's just really not something we've had. And from what I gather, the guy was like a Texas guy from his childhood, and now he's playing for OU. Like, he has to be insane. And I love that. I want my skill players nuts. I love that. So that maybe factors too much into my thinking on this. I just think that when you make a decision like that, it feels like he's going to be ultra motivated to prove everyone wrong.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
And
Like
that could be very powerful, Ted.
it's a loud move. He knows the consequences of it. And because of that, like you are going to be super motivated to try and put yourself in a position to shove all the haters' nose right in it. Right. So it's a good pick.
Are you surprised we didn't add a quarterback from the portal?
No, not really. I mean, we're in a position where it's almost impossible to add a quarterback from the portal because you've got your incumbent starter, you've got your hot shot freshman coming in, you've got another guy that's with Neubauer that's been on the roster, has taken some steps, knows the offense. I just every quarterback that's in the portal is trying to go start somewhere. And like the makeup of our room right now, you're going to be going way down the list before you get any takers would be my guess on that.
I feel like our quarterback situation's pretty good, man.
Yeah.
You've got a guy that let's be real. We'll always wonder what would have happened with John Mateer if he wouldn't have broken the thumb, right? I know I
Yep.
will. What
Yep.
that season looks like, heck, he may not still be here if he didn't break the thumb. But it had a massive effect on the way the rest of the season went for him.
Yep.
I'm choosing to believe that that's going to get wiped clean, and he's going to be the type of player that we thought he could be after seeing him play a couple games and
Yep.
being, frankly, that dude at the quarterback spot. Now, there's a lot of improvement that needs to take place mechanically, his decision making, but I'm confident he's going to get there. And then you've got Bo Bentley. Like, the staff could not be more excited about this guy.
Yep.
And you mentioned Neubauer. Dude, there's a lot of people in that building that are Whit Neubauer fans.
I am.
And he can spin it, man. And so he doesn't necessarily fit the mold of Mateer and Bentley, but he's got his own strengths for sure. So I think our quarterback situation, you look around the country, the days of having two veteran guys dueling it out for the starting job, I just don't know how many of those situations we're going to find in high-level college football anymore. I think this dynamic of a really veteran guy like Mateer, the big-time, high-dollar freshman in Bentley, and then kind of a third guy that is a bit of a wild card. This feels like the new normal in college football.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. It's interesting. I know we lost Hawkins, in which you can't blame the guy. It's just kind of time to go be a starter somewhere and play some ball. He went to West Virginia, and he's going to have a quarterback battle out there. But I like the thought of him in Rich Rod's system. So, I mean, him moving just kind of paves the way for the next guy to really come in and challenge. Like for Bo Bentley, if Hawkins was still here, you would feel like you're kind of battling for that second spot, but there's how the pecking order thing goes. But now with that spot kind of vacated, he's going to be ultra motivated to come in and prove that he could be the number 2 guy. And hell, he's going to want to compete for the first spot too. You know how you are when you come in, you're going to want to really grab some attention, make some plays. And, it's not bad if the starter's got to say, that was really good. I've got to pick my game up and come out ready to go to battle every single day in practice.
Hopefully Mateer takes him underneath his wing and Bentley appreciates that, but he's like, I'm here to take your job, dude.
Yep.
Because that's, and not, I don't want it to be like a hostile situation or anything like that. That's not what you're going for. That's not what you want in a locker room, but that's the dynamic that brings the best out of everyone.
Yep.
And it, Ted, like that quarterback, that quarterback position sets the tone for the entire football team.
Yep.
So that's Bentley needs to come in, and all the early indications are the guy is doing everything he's asked to do. He's working really well. Like everything we've been told about him sounds fantastic.
Yep. The way I've always said it is within a position group, you got to be competitive, not combative, right? You got to go out, compete, may the best man win, try and help each other, bring the whole group along without, developing these, I don't know, hatred dislike, these different dynamics back and forth personally to where, the room gets a bad feeling about it. You don't want that. You want everyone to be competitive and trying to help one another, and ultimately may the best man win, and everyone's better for it.
Before we move on to the 5 portal additions on the defensive side of the ball, I would just like to reiterate how irrationally excited I am about Peyton Joseph. I just want to point that out. I've seen the guy play 4 snaps of football. The possibilities really excite me. Come on, Peyton Joseph. I need you to end up being a dude, man. You can do it. You're capable.
He may be the guy, really in the entire transfer class, not just on offense, that maybe doesn't get a lot of attention early, but the upside, it may be like a year or two from now, it may be like, that was the best transfer portal addition we could have made.
I'm hoping we bought low on him.
Yeah.
And here in the near future, we're like, oh, what a grab by Nagy and the boys,
No doubt. No doubt.
That's my hope. All right, defensive guys. Only 5. Got 5. We've got Kenny Ozawalu and Bishop Thomas along the defensive line. We've got Cole Sullivan at linebacker, and then 2 DBs, Dakota Fields and Prince Igioma. What guy needs to come in and contribute right away, Ted?
Well, I want to say Ozawalu's so bad. The only reason I'm not is because we've got some legitimate established starters there. And I think our front line jog the first 4 guys out on the field. We're going to be excellent. And I do think he's got a chance to compete in there. We'll see what happens, but I guess it's got to be Cole Sullivan. Unless we find out differently on Heineke at the moment, you've got to consider that the chances there are going to be slim. So you're missing you got a hole right there in the middle of the defense at the second level where we've been really good the last couple of years. We need to shore up that spot, whether it's Cole Sullivan, whether, it's someone on the roster now that is competing and goes in there and battles for it. We've got to have someone emerge at that other backer spot along side Kip Lewis. So I'll go Sullivan, but oh my gosh, Kenny Ozawalu is really close.
I know you love some Ozawalu. I know you do, and I'm with you though, man. Since you took Sullivan, how about this? I'll take someone else. Bishop Thomas is interesting to me. And the thing that I keep going back to is him saying that they kind of viewed him like Grayson Halton.
Yeah. And it makes sense whenever we looked at the film. I mean, he's got that get off and that motor.
I see what they see. Now, he's got to refine some things to be Grayson Halton, a guy that, day 2?
Yep. Yeah.
Early day 2 now?
Early day 2.
Old G baby has done himself some good, and I think it's only going to continue at the combine. But Bishop Thomas, he's kind of a unorthodox player along the defensive line. He does some things where you're like, oh, that's kind of awkward looking, but it worked. And I think he's a guy that can generate a little pass rush from the interior. And we need that, man. He's got a good feel for those twist games. They did quite a bit of that at Georgia State. You could see him play all across the defensive line as well. He showcased that versatility, and I guarantee you that's something that they liked seeing, being able to see him do all those different things at different spots on tape. But he's an old dude. I mean, Ozawalu still feels like this project, right? He's going to have to add the weight. He's going to have to continue to add strength. Like, he's shifting into the interior. Meanwhile, that's where Bishop Thomas has been living,
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like he needs to be able to come in and be a rotational guy right away. Like, you don't bring in veteran players to not play, you know what I'm saying? Like, he needs to come in and contribute. I don't know how big his role will be, but it needs to be solid, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And whether this is good or bad will be determined by him, but I do think there's going to be like a back to the drawing board uh phase for him, because to your point, he's got great get off, he's got great quickness, flies to the football, he's got all those things that we loved about Grayson Holton, but he's also stepping up a massive level in competition, and you just can't do it without playing with great technique, right? So you're going to come and whether it's Foje or whoever he's going against, like, you come off the ball high and get stoned a couple of times, it's going to be like, I'm going to have to change and tinker with some things here and work on my pad level and really work on my technique. And if he can combine the technique aspects with what he's shown on film, I think there's a lot of upside.
Same question as I asked you on the offensive side. Got to pick one guy that at some point in his OU career will be an all SEC player. This feels rhetorical at this point, but who you picking?
I'm taking Ozawalu, and not only am I saying he could be, he will be.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Confidence. I like the
go
confidence.
ahead. I'm just balls in your court, Kenny.
Is there any position when you look at the defense? We all feel pretty good about the defense. Had one of the best defenses in the country in 2025. Got a bunch of key pieces back. Now, you've got to replace some serious playmakers, right? Yeah. But I think we all feel really good about where things are under Brent Venables on the defensive side of the ball. But is there any position that maybe they didn't address in the portal that you wish they would have addressed a little more?
Well, I guess it's kind of hard to know how to put this. Kendall Daniels at Cheetah was a weapon that we had that I love Reggie Powers, and I think he's going to be a great every down Cheetah for us. But, in some of those bigger personnel packages, people getting 2 and 3 tight ends, like, who do we have to step into that role? Because I don't know that we necessarily have anyone on roster now that can do that. We saw Cole Sullivan play on the line of scrimmage some in that Sam Backer type spot for Michigan at times, and like some goal line looks. Maybe it's him. That's one of the spots I'm curious about. And maybe Powers can do it. I mean, that's a violent dude that plays with really good pad level and explosiveness, and maybe they're not worried about it. He's going to be an every down guy there. But I mean, Kendall Daniels brought something that it's very hard to replicate, and I wonder who's going to maybe fill that spot.
Is there any reason why Taylor Heim couldn't be that guy?
Lead and the pencil is kind of the only thing. I mean, he's got the length, he's got the size. I love the way he moves. I mean, if he could get up to 240 pounds, absolutely.
I just checked before I brought him up. He was listed at 227 last season. He's also listed at 6'6". And let's be clear, like Kendall Daniels, there are not a bunch of 6'5", 240 guys that move that way growing on trees. Man, they're just
no.
A rare skill set. But Heim's a really good athlete. If they just go to him and say, "Hey man, you're going to be the big cheetah, start eating,"
Yeah.
You got to add the weight the right way, and he's got that long, lean frame, but 13 pounds before we kick this thing up, like that's achievable in my mind. That's coming from a guy that gained a few.
Well, and he was a super tall, lean guy coming in. He can run. Now, he's got great speed. He's got great footwork out in space. I mean, some of the stuff he does out in space probably looks a little bit more efficient and cleaner than Kendall Daniels, but Kendall Daniels is more violent, more powerful, at least has shown that. And, he's 15, 20 pounds heavier as well. That helps. So, as Heim gets older, it gets like he's getting into the age range now to where it starts to get easier to put the weight on. And if he could, hey, I I don't think there's any reason he couldn't really compete for that spot and be a guy that they could throw in there. I like him a lot, and I've said that a bunch. So I'm pulling for him to be that guy.
All he has to be able to do is blitz at a high level, cover and man and zone at a high level, tackle in space really well, tackle in the box really well.
Take on tackles and big tight ends at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. Attack the perimeter screen game with a ton of violence. You know,
so everything. You got to be able to do everything.
That's it. That's all that position requires. So I think he's capable, especially, but if he can get a little more punch to him, he's athletic enough to play that spot, like to be that
without
big
a
cheetah.
doubt. Without a doubt.
But can he play it at the level we saw Kendall Daniels play at last year? To be determined. I'm not going to put limits on Heim, Bethany's finest, man. Don't put limits on Bethany's finest, okay?
Just go do it, man. Just go do it.
It's not that hard, dude. Just go do it.
Just go do it.
Do we care about the portal class ranking?
No, I don't. Because we had 27 guys going out with some really good players in there.
Yeah.
And 16 coming in. And I think that we really addressed all of the spots that we needed to without bringing in 30 guys to get those higher rankings. So I'm not worried about it. I think it's a precise transfer portal class there's not a lot of waste in there, not a lot of just bodies. So I think you can look at it and say, like, we clearly address the needs that we have on our football team right now.
Whether we really care or not, Sooners transfer portal class ranked 25th on 3, ranked 20th on 24/7 Sports. And when you look at those rankings, there's no shock. Like, there's a bunch of SEC teams ranked ahead of us.
Yeah.
This is, in my opinion, this is the first true test of Jim Nagy and his staff.
Yep.
And their ability to evaluate not only players in what they can do, but evaluate the value of those players and how they fit into our salary cap.
Yep. And, I know
it still sounds strange to talk that way about college football, but that's how you're viewing it. You have to go out and find value with the funds you are able to work with, man. And this is where we're going to find out. And it's not on those guys to develop them and plug them in positions on the field for them to succeed. They're not training them in the strength and conditioning program, all that stuff. But this is how Nagy and his group will be judged.
Yep. Yeah, just
along with recruiting classes, of course.
We're on 24/7. We have the 20th ranked class, but you got to keep this in mind. We brought 16 guys in. There's very few schools ahead of us that have that same number count. Like Louisville brought 30 guys in. How many of those 30 guys are potential starters on our football team? Arizona State brought in 25 guys. Cal brought in 30. Oklahoma State is the 7th ranked class. They brought in 53 guys. So a lot of that, you have to really look at it and say, okay, yeah, there's a lot of numbers there, but how many players are going to contribute for this upcoming season for these teams? And whenever you look at our roster after what we did a year ago and kind of what the expectations and the goals are going to be this year, we didn't need a wholesale roster washout, bring a bunch of it needed to be precise and hit some major areas. And I think we did a good job with that. Time will tell, though.
There's no doubt. I think people get really worked up about the portal rankings.
I understand it.
You have to factor in your retention into the overall roster. You just have to. You think People weren't after Michael Fasusi.
Oh my gosh.
You think people weren't after Ryan Foje? You think people weren't after
Taylor
David
Wine.
Stone again? Taylor Wine? You think we know a bunch of people were after PJ?
Yep.
Like that stuff, Kip, like all these things. The retention piece has to be factored in. So that's where I see people getting really worked up about the portal class rankings, and it's one of these things where like, I mean, give me the roster rankings, you know?
Yep.
Give me the retention ranking. I want to see where we stack up in the retention rankings.
And there's
it's all part of it, right?
It is, and there's so much weight given to quarterbacks, you know, and when you don't take a quarterback in the transfer portal, it's going to hurt your ranking. Yeah, compared to the other schools. When there's 5 or 6 top quarterbacks that are like legit dudes that are going to be making a ton of money, and there's going to be a bidding war for them. If you're not in on one of those guys, then your class just kind of, it turns into you're kind of lost in the shuffle a little bit. And I don't know. Would you always like to say, look at this elite player, best at his position in the country that we brought in, but financially, I just don't know that ever makes a bunch of sense in the transfer portal unless you're going with the quarterback. Like in the position we are in, like, do we need to go spend $4 million on a receiver, or you go get a guy like Trell Harris, and I don't know what they paid for him, but if you shore up the other areas of your football team, he, along with it, like those guys have the potential to go out and put the same type of numbers up if everything else works out right.
Just think, and I don't know the exact numbers. I think I have a general understanding. I know that there was the Cam Coleman discussion, right? Well, we may have got 3 wide receivers and 3 tight ends for the price of Cam Coleman.
I would have been pissed if they went and got Cam Coleman.
I wouldn't have been pissed, but it would have been like, all right, this better work out. He better be the best receiver in the country for that price,
Well, I would have been pissed if everything else is the same and we didn't have like some new influx of a massive amount of money. And like, if you go get Cam Coleman and that means that you don't get Hayden Hansen and Van Dorselaer and you don't get Marion Harris for Arkansas, like that's not a trade I'm willing to make.
Right. I mean, we've got 4 or 5 like quality players that will probably be starters for the price of Cam Coleman.
No doubt.
If the $4 million figure is the true number, who knows? I mean,
it's probably,
I'm not doubting it.
Probably there. Yeah.
I'm not doubting it. But I'm just saying, I know that this isn't what people want to hear, but it's like only time will tell how this portal class is.
Yeah.
But let's revisit it in the middle of October, shall we?
That's right. I just, whoever our biggest price tag guys were in there, and I don't know, I could probably guess as to who they are. You just don't want those guys producing 0. Like that's not a situation
that would never happen to us.
Right. We want everyone that we brought in to come in and be important parts of this football team. And I think most of the guys that you imagine are going to be in some battles and have a chance. I think all of those guys fit what we're doing and fit the character and the culture of our football program.
Your highest paid players got to be players, man.
Got to produce.
It's just like the NFL.
That's it.
Your best players gotta play well, gotta produce. Ready to talk some hoops, man. We actually got a little joy back in our lives.
Let's do it.
But first, download the Loves app from Loves Travel Stops, your guide to savings on the road. Fill up for less with a discount on fuel. 10 cents off on every gallon of gas and 25 cents off on every gallon of auto diesel. And don't forget, in the store, you can unlock mobile deals on the Love's app to save on snacks, drinks, and select meals at Love's restaurants. Plus, you can plan your pit stops for your next road trip with the map and route planner. All from Love's, the heart of the highway.
Steaks are back. Didi Ranch's luxury steak cuts are restocked and ready to ship straight to your door. From mouth-watering ribeyes to silky smooth fillets, this is the best beef Oklahoma has to offer. And here's the kicker. They're now shipping next day air for free when you use code SOONER at checkout. That's right. Next day air like Amazon Prime, but for steak. Didi Ranch delivers taste and tradition the luxurious way.
We were brought to you by Simple Modern, the Oklahoma-owned company and the OU Sooners official drinkware partner. All right, let's talk real life in February. Winter schedules are packed. Sports seasons are rolling, and your family has shown up no matter the weather. Between early workouts, long game days, road trips, and cheering on the Sooners, it's where Simple Modern really shines. The Mesa Loop is built for every loop of your family's life. It takes you from the gym and the office to the practice fields and packed stadium seats. It's easy to carry, leak-proof, and keeps your drink cold from warm-ups through the final whistle. And like everything Simple Modern makes, it delivers serious quality at a price that makes sense. And with 10% of profits going to charity, many right here in Oklahoma, every sip supports Oklahomans. Simple Modern, good everywhere. All right, time for some football, guys. Talking basketball, FGTB, and the losing streak ends at 9, Ted.
Oh, that was a wild game.
Dude, what? Why does it have to be so stressful? I was at the Thunder game, monitoring the Sooners game, and I'm looking at my phone. There's 5 minutes to go. We're up 21. There's 4 minutes to go. We're up 19. I look 2 minutes later. Wait a second. What's happening? So I fired up on my phone. I'm at the Thunder game watching the OU game. I could not have been more stressed. Why can't it just be easy, man?
I don't know. The only way I can really explain my personal feelings was it was crazy that we had a 19-point lead with 3 minutes to go and almost blew it. And then it was also crazy when there was like 30 seconds left to go that we won the game.
It was an absolute roller coaster. I don't know if you're going to find a fan base more disappointed in a top 15 road victory than Sooner Nation right now. But hey, it felt good to watch them win a game. It did.
Oh
but
gosh.
My goodness, dude. I was watching it like, what? There's so many fouls. We're fouling 3-point shooters, creating 4-point plays. We can't inbound the ball, dude. I was just you mentioned it. It was almost shocking that Vandy didn't finish the job and complete the comeback. God.
I mean, I think it was Tanner came down and buried that three from just inside half court. It was like, oh my, okay, I've seen this like 10 times already this year. They're not going to miss anything. And it was just, I'm for 35 minutes of that basketball game, we looked great. And, you know, on my radio show, I was talking about it on Friday, and it's really hard to talk about it because if you say anything positive at all, it's like you're a moron, which, you know, I'll accept that. But whenever I was looking at the matchup, it was like, you know, the teams that really just own us or that have the big athletic physical front court, and that's not really Vanderbilt's strength. So I was like, you know, the matchup doesn't look all that bad on paper. And we played great, shot the ball well, was moving it around, really good defense at times. And then, you know, we tightened up. You open the can of worms, get ready for some full court pressure the rest of the season.
My goodness. My blood pressure went from like, oh, this is so enjoyable. They're going to play a complete game, literally lead every moment of the game. Never trail, wire to wire, complete game, shooting it well, defending at a higher level, hitting threes, making winning plays, defensive intensity ramped up. Porter going crazy on the sideline, looking like he's on the court because of that weird Vandy orientation. And then it just all stopped in the last, 3.5 minutes. And I was sitting there going, what is happening? How do you go from up 19 to, oh my gosh, they're shooting a three to tie the game?
I'm looking at the win probability on the game flow on ESPN,
Oh my gosh, dude.
and it's at 99%. Pretty much most of the second half. It's like 97, 90, but it's at 99% with 10 and a half minutes to go. And it's just pegged as high as it can go. And then it just craters.
Dude, it was I'm so glad they won. I want to make that clear. And maybe the most cynical OU fan out there goes, who cares? We already know what's what. And we'll see what Porter Moser's future is. I know this. If they would have lost that game, I mean, at that point, right, you have no choice.
Yeah.
If you blow a 19-point lead in the last 4 minutes of a game, I mean, that's our first AP ranked win of the year, which we should, it's weird. We should all be thrilled. We just went on the road and got a top 15 win. And we're just all sitting here going, oh my gosh, that was exhausting.
Well, I know. But here's the thing for me. I I am happy. I'm happy for those guys because you got to understand that in that last 3 minutes, they're not just fighting the crowd. They're not just fighting Vandy. They're fighting the 9 games that they lost previous, right? And oh my gosh, here we go again. And it's just I'm thrilled. I'm happy that they were able to weather the storm and get out of there with the win. And do I expect it to flip things and turn the entire season around? No, but it's a damn sure better feeling right now in that locker room and at the facility than it would be had they lost that and are feeling the exact same as they have in some of these other games. So hopefully it sparks a little something and they can play a little bit more consistent. And if they find themselves with the lead at the end of games, they can not have that miserable feeling. But I don't know. That was tough.
It was not the cleanest finish you've ever seen, but hey, they won. They snapped the losing streak. And like you mentioned, Ted, I'm happy for those players. I'm happy for Porter Moser and his staff. I assume the last month has not been a lot of fun.
Yep.
So you go beat a top 15 team in their building. It's something to be celebrated, something to be excited about, no matter what the future of the program looks like. I'm just happy. I'm happy for those guys. I'm happy for the OU fans. There may be like the most cynical, maybe been cheering for us to lose, which I always think is completely jacked up. Don't do that, in my opinion. You don't want that sports karma, people. But I mean, they got to win. It was fun to watch them win, man. I like watching my Sooners win.
It was, and I thought some guys played really good. I thought Tay Davis did some really good things. I thought
He set the tone early, right? Dropping
yes,
the 14. Did he end up with 14? Did he not score the rest of the game?
Ended up with 14. Yeah,
that's crazy. I mean, they had no answers for him early, and then Porter took him out of the game, and even the announcers pointed out, they're like, wait, why are they taking him out, basically? But hey,
I think he was in foul trouble because he ended up with 5 personals. But he was great. I thought Darian Reed was great. McGee had some really nice moments. So there was a lot of guys that contributed. You know, he had shortened the rotation up quite a bit there for a stretch, but I mean, this one you had, 8, 9 guys play significant minutes. So yeah, well, hey, it was entertaining every minute.
That's true. It did. The ending was It's not a type of entertainment I'm a fan of, but it was entertaining.
It's kind of like, how like torture. Like if you're in like a miserable team run or something, it's like time stands still. 5 minutes in like a team run or sprint, like whatever you're doing, it's like, is the clock like not moving? What is happening? This is dragging on forever. That last 3 minutes felt like it was 2 hours long.
I mean, it was brutal, dude. Couple random thoughts on this game.
Okay.
Number one, Clark Lee, what are we doing? You got to get some pads on Okereke. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Number 10 for them?
Yeah, that's a big dude.
Hey,
That's a big dude.
I looked at him on the rush senior. See if you can find a year. You just got to see it. And maybe he put pads on at some point in his life, but I'm always looking for those guys. Okereke, not an NBA player, but you throw some shoulder pads and a helmet on him. Let's see what happens. And
6'7", 245.
The raw materials are there. Let's see if he can
doubt.
do anything on the gridiron. How about that? And then the size of that V at midcourt is just preposterous, dude. It takes up the entire court. It's like even more obnoxious than Kansas's Jayhawk. Like it's huge. Why is that V so big?
That's funny. I'm trying to pull up a picture of it.
It's enormous. I couldn't stop looking at it. I was like, it takes up the entire court. Why did they think our V needs to be so large? We have lost the plot on mid-court logos. They need to shrink. They've gotten too large, too obnoxious. We need to shrink them down, people.
The whole, like, I actually don't mind the layout with the players at the end of the court and the coach is on like the camera side, but it's really hard to get used to.
Why do they not have seats up against the court on the other side? There's like cheerleaders and then two random dudes sitting next to a table.
Like that random table just sitting in the middle of nowhere. I don't know.
Why is there not courtside seating there? It's so confusing to me.
Hey, listen, Vanderbilt, that's premium seating area.
Make it feel like there's a lot of people at your basketball game.
How weird would that be to sit courtside and the court is right here?
It'd be terrible.
Would it be terrible?
It's like those suites on the field at Jerry World where all you're doing is just looking at the Jumbotron the whole game because you can't see a thing.
Yeah, staring at all the football players' butts right in front of you in the bench.
Some people, hey, maybe their thing. I don't know.
Yeah, it's only 30 grand a game. No big deal.
I don't know. I just put seats next to the court so it makes it look like I don't know. I've never been there, so maybe I should withhold judgment until I lay eyes on it in person.
Yeah, well, it's a unique
It seems
place.
silly.
You know what? It's kind of like college. Like you got to have the weirdness in college sports, and every venue's a little bit unique. Like you go to the NBA, they're all. I mean, I know they're different arenas, but they're all almost the exact same. It's kind of nice to have something a little bit different for them. Let them have the different thing,
Just make that stupid V smaller. It's ridiculous. Just ridiculously large. All right. OU women's hoops real quick. Currently ranked 11th in the AP poll. We'll take on number 7 Vanderbilt Monday night in Nashville. 8 p.m., the prime time treatment on ESPN2. And I just want to warn OU fans. Michaela Blakes for Vandy can absolutely ball. Prepare yourself. Like, it is going to be must-see TV watching her and Chavez go at it. Blakes is a complete and utter baller. She's averaging 25 a game. She just dropped 37 on in their road win over number 16 Kentucky this week. She can shoot it. Like, it's going to be awesome. I cannot wait to watch this game just because I want to watch that matchup. I want to watch Chavez go against Blakes. Like those are two of the more dynamic players in women's college basketball. It's going to be fun.
Yep. Yeah, that'll be crazy. And prepare yourself for the large V, right?
Oh,
Just get ready
dang
for it.
it. It's ridiculous.
That'd be a
But
big win though. Go on the road and have a chance to knock off another top 10 team.
yeah, we'll recap that one on Wednesday's episode. Right.
Yep.
Let's hit the Thunder real quick. Oklahoma City Thunder have lost two in a row, Ted.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out having Shai Gilgeous-Alexander play in games is important. Got a little abdominal issue. Got to be reevaluated after the All-Star break. Went to the game on Saturday, which Saturday 2:30 tip, let's normalize that. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. The little
No
like
stress
Saturday
getting there.
the
Yeah.
Saturday matinee. Took two of my boys. It was great. We had a blast. But it's never fun watching Kevin Durant beat the Thunder. It's just not. I'm not a fan. But
Are we worried about Shea for
I'm
what
just
are we expecting?
it just feels like I've said this a lot on here now. Just get us to the playoffs healthy, man. Like just get us there. But yeah, we'll see how much time he actually ends up missing. There's the Thunder have 3 more games until the All-Star break. And then J-Dub has been out. So like you're missing your 2 all-NBA players. And then Ajay Mitchell didn't play against the Rockets. Those are your 3 best playmakers. When I mean that's just the truth. So I'm not gonna overreact to any game we play without J-Dub, and Ajay Mitchell. I'm just not. But that being said, I hate losing to the Rockets.
Yeah, and that first place spot's now down to 3.5 games.
Not only
won
that,
4 straight.
Not only that, start peeking over that Eastern Conference. Detroit, there's going to be a lot on the line the last, let's call it 20 games of the season.
Yeah.
I mean, there is, because we all know how important home court is in the playoffs, especially when you're talking about the conference finals and the NBA finals.
Yeah.
So
and it's crazy that the Thunder are 5-5 in their last 10. It's been a while for a stretch like that.
Guys have just been out. It's been like this rotating cast of guys missing games, and it's just you just hope that at some point in February, late February, early March, whenever, like they're able to get completely healthy and build that chemistry before the playoffs hit in April,
Get everything normalized again, get your rotations, the game flow kind of matchup wise, all that stuff. Got to get it back and have some confidence going into the playoffs as well. You don't want to be limping in and and now like the stress over the 1 seed, hopefully you get things back right and you can distance yourself a little bit, but it's turned out to be a little bit more difficult than maybe not everyone, at least I expected with the way they started off. It's like, call me whenever the playoffs get here, or maybe even call me whenever the conference finals get here.
Call me when they're trying to win number 74.
Right.
But yeah, it's so interesting of where we were at, let's call it 25 games into the season and where we're at now. Like now it's just, hey, who cares about really anything? Just get healthy. Like the 1 seed would be great. There's no doubt about it. You want to have the best record in the league. You want to have home court in the NBA finals if you get there. But at this point, I'm just like, hey, do whatever you got to do to have your squad ready to go when the playoffs are here. And then can we please just stay healthy throughout the playoff run? Because it's feeling like a war of attrition for the Thunder,
It is. It is. They got a decent little stretch here where they can hopefully start to put some wins together and get back on a run.
That Rockets game, I mean, Eason, Jabari Smith with some big games. There's no point. I'm not going to overreact to a game where Shea and J-Dub and AJ Mitchell didn't play. I'm just not. I'm not. I'm not going to do it. But I will say I would like Chet to be a little more aggressive, a little more assertive. There were a
Yep.
couple plays in that game. He went right at Durant, and it was awesome. I was like, yes, more of that. When those other guys are out, like it's a time for him to say, hey man, ball. Give me the ball. And I know that's he plays within the flow of the offense and all that stuff, but I would like to see him experiment with being a little more assertive.
Yep.
When the other all NBA, like the other all-star caliber players are on the court, be nice.
Yep.
Just see what it looks like a little more. Like, hey, Chet,
take
over 20 shots.
Yeah. Go take a game over. See what it's like. See what it feels like to step into that leadership role and be the dude for a game or 10.
Wouldn't mind seeing a Thunder Rockets matchup in a conference semifinal. Would be very toxic.
Yeah. Sign me up for the storylines, man.
Would be very fun and quite toxic. We talked about a couple of things at the trade deadline that were intriguing for the Thunder. The Clippers kind of feel like they're blowing it up. Since Zubac's out, Harden's out. Who knows when Darius Garland's going to play? Feels like I don't know what's going on with Kawhi in that whole situation. There's some conspiracy theories out there going like, oh, no, they don't care about that pick because they're going to lose it when the NBA punishes them for the aspiration thing. And I'm like, I don't know, man. But that situation's looking very good for the Thunder. And then on the other side of the things, we could just forget about the Jazz's pick. It ain't going to happen. They are doing they're doing whatever they got to do to lose games, man. You see, they pulled all the starters. None of them played in the fourth quarter. They were playing really well, and they're like, all right, we've seen enough here. Our fans have gotten their entertainment. Now we're going to lose the game. So we could just forget about the Jazz's pick. That ain't happening.
Clippers are at Minnesota right now, at Houston, Denver. So go ahead and get a little losing streak in there, boys.
Wouldn't mind it. So we can get excited about the Clippers pick. Let's not get excited about the Jazz pick. It's just they're going to do whatever they got to do. It was funny, like Triple J marketed. They just disappeared from the game. Gone. God, they were crushing it. They were playing really well together, and it was like, oh, they're not coming back in. It's just funny. A lot of people are going to be very upset with the blatant tanking that's going to happen over the next couple months, but
that's how it goes.
Listen, you're looking at a guy and I went to a lot of home games in our tanking seasons, buddy. So I get it. I get what you're about to go through, people. It's just hope it ends up working out the way that it worked out for us.
Every now and then you got to play the long game,
Ready for some winners and losers of the weekend?
Let's do it.
Are you just going to recap the Super Bowl for yours?
Of course.
Awesome. But first,
Schwab Meat has been smoking the highest quality meats, hot dogs, and sausages in OKC since 1912. Go to schwabmeat.com to order any of Schwab's outstanding products and use promo code OKBreakdown for free shipping on orders over $75. Schwab dogs are iconic. I like to keep it simple. Just a bun, dog, mustard, ketchup. Also, the jalapeno cheddar smoked sausage is ridiculous. SchwabMeat.com, code OKBreakdown for free shipping on orders over $75. Schwab Meat, the official hot dog of game days.
And head to the garage for hand smashed patties, butter toasted buns, and ice cold beer. My go-to is the double bison cheeseburger. It's so good. The garage is the perfect spot to watch any big game, and you can enjoy Rad Hour every day. Enjoy discounted domestic beers, house wines, draft cocktails, and frozen cocktails Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Saturday and Sunday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Visit eatatthegarage.com to find a location near you or order online from the garage in your neighborhood.
Insurica has launched a new digital agency introducing Insurica Direct. Whether you're in Oklahoma or anywhere across the U.S., they've got you covered. From small business insurance and health insurance for your employees to insurance for individuals like home, auto, and even Medicare supplements. Insurica Direct's got it all. Start your journey today at insuricadirect.com. Remember, at Insurica, we specialize in you.
As always, Ted, kicks off. Who do you have as your winner of the weekend?
Seattle Seahawks went and got it done. Now, maybe not the most exciting football game we've ever witnessed, but they looked pretty good. That running game was exciting, anyways.
Zone running game is beautiful when executed properly, sir. I've been saying this on here for years, and I'm just going to point out one thing. We recorded the rest of the podcast before we recorded this piece.
Yes.
My assumption is that with the way that the game went, both of us drank more than we anticipated.
You're assuming correctly on my end, for sure.
It was like this thing is that thing came to a crawl in the first half, and I was like, well, beer, wine, what are we doing here? Like that, I feel like the vast majority of America had to agree with us on that. It was like, I've got to entertain myself somehow.
Man, the amount of rounds I made through the kitchen back across all the food because of the football game was unbelievable.
What was on the menu?
Oh my gosh. We had ribs, we had brisket tacos, we had wings. And listen, I've said this before, my neighborhood, right? Like it just shows up and it's all so freaking good.
Well, I'm happy for you. Are you still a Patriots fan?
Yes, yeah. I got back on board really late in the season, but not the diehard I once was. So yeah, and I took them to win, whatever the bias take, but that was pretty painful to watch there from Drake May.
Drake May? Hold on. That was the least of their problems, dude.
Well, yes, it
was everyone around Drake May, in particular the offensive line. Like, if you can't block them, you got no chance, dude. I mean, that's the thing is, say whatever you want about Drake May with that performance. Could he have made some throws like the interception late? You don't need to take that risk at that point. Like, they still had a chance. Collinsworth even pointed it out on the broadcast. He was like, you don't really need to do that at this point in time. And I agreed with that. But the dude had no chance pretty much the entire game. Like, the Seahawks defensive line was living in his lap.
It was pretty impressive. They could not secure the edges, and Ramondre Stevenson had some nice plays out there in the passing game, but the running game, there wasn't much to speak of at all, except for a couple of, long carries from Drake May himself. It was, which, a lot of people expected coming in. They hadn't been necessarily lighting up the scoreboard throughout the playoffs.
No, if New England was going to make some serious noise in this game, it felt like the defense had to make some game-changing plays. Maybe they had to get some like one or two big plays on special teams, and really none of that happened.
Nope. Yeah, it didn't unfold the way they wanted. I mean, they wanted it to be a close game where you're within one score, and man, as they started to get start to pad it a little bit, it wasn't going to be a game they were going to be able to reel in.
I thought Darnold was pretty good.
Yeah.
What a story for that guy.
I know, man. You can't give up on guys. And I've talked about it a lot. NFL is so much about fit, and he bounced around, just kept staying at it, kept improving as a player. And here you go.
I was happy that Ramondre scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl. That's awesome.
Yeah.
No one can ever take that away from you, even though it's in a losing effort. He also had the cool hurdle, like a couple of highlight plays from Ramondre.
I knew it was coming, and I was nervous for him. I was like, I don't know, just lower the shoulder. That was nice, though.
How many sacks did Seattle end up with? 7, 8?
6.
No. There had at one point it was 7. They didn't take away a sack, did they?
I don't know. That's on the ESPN box score for
Well,
it.
that's wrong because on the broadcast there it said 7 at one point.
Yeah.
I just that game. It is almost like the perfect encapsulation of what we always talk about on here. If you do not win at the line of scrimmage, you don't have a chance, man.
Nope.
In Seattle, whoop them at the point of attack for the vast, vast majority of the night. Like, and I know that the Seahawks didn't like run it all over them consistently, but and it hasn't happened yet. I'm assuming Kenneth Walker III is going to be the Super Bowl MVP, unless they want to give it to the kicker, which seems unlikely.
160 total yards or so, give or take. And the first play of the game, he hit him for 10, and it was like, boy, hopefully that was just an anomaly. If you can't stop that tonight, you're going to get a steady dose of it. Could be a long evening.
Any other big takeaways? I feel like it was one of these Super Bowls where you just go, I mean, it felt over early. Like that first half, what was it, 9-0 at the half?
Yes.
It felt that margin felt insurmountable for the Patriots.
We had this, we did the squares game, so everyone's got their score squares, and we were following that all the way through it. It was like the person that had 9-0, I was like, you may win the rest of the game. You know, it could stay right here. So don't count yourself out for winning the whole thing. But it was yeah, it was a grinder, especially early. You had some exciting stuff in the second half, but most of it was whenever it had been decided.
Both of us are huge Tirico guys.
Yep. He's awesome.
Easy. Thought the call was great. Thought they did a great job. I've got no complaints about the coverage. That's usually something that a lot of people talk about. Like, hey, how are the announcers? How'd they do? Were they, kind of down the middle the way they're supposed to be? I thought that the broadcast, I thought they did a really good job of being like, hey, the Seahawks are just a little better than the Patriots,
Yeah, no, I thought the broadcast was good. I thought, man, the camera work on those two, like, tip of the ball on the grass catches was really good. The Cooper Kupp, I was like, oh, that's incomplete. When I first saw it live, I was like, there's no way he caught that ball. And then that was really impressive.
The way he reacted, I was like, Cooper Kupp doesn't lie. That's a catch.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, you look at the stats. I mean, Seattle was just a better team. A lot of the Patriots' yardage came late,
Yeah.
A couple of those drives in the fourth quarter. I don't think when you look at the box score, it reflects how imbalanced that game was.
Yep. Yep.
It was. I mean, the Seahawks kind of choked them out, right?
It's about as dominant as you can win a football game where, I mean, I don't know. Did it get back down to one score at one point late? I mean, it felt like it was totally out of hand from the very beginning. So even the score doesn't do it justice.
Will Campbell is not going to be a popular man in the New England area.
Well, there's Will Campbell again. Just man.
I thought he was the best tackle coming out in his class in college. And I know the conversation about his short arms. The arms aren't the issue, in my opinion. He has lost his feet and his hands are not connected at all. He's late with everything. He's late with his feet. He's late with his hands. He's absorbing. He's catching. He's not striking. And that usually is a result of just a complete drop off in your confidence. I think it's all added up and piled on him a little bit. There was a couple of plays where he's in fine position with his feet, and then I don't know, man. It's almost like he's got the O-line yips, which
Yeah.
is you don't see it a lot, but I know what it looks like when I see it, and he's got it. And it just
Start
I'm confident,
guessing and instead of focus,
just
like just
super tentative confidence. Like, hey, if I throw my punch, he's gonna get my hands. I'm gonna get beat, so I'm just not gonna throw it. And he's just absorbing and absorbing. In that league, dude, if you absorb, you are screwed. The creature's coming off the edge for the Seahawks. Are you kidding me? There's no
yeah.
way. And it almost pained me to watch it for him because he's a good player. He should be a great player. He's got all the tools you need. Like I don't care if he's got short arms, but it's just I feel like his confidence, whatever you want to call it, like it is just falling off a cliff. And the people up in that area of the country typically aren't very nice to you if that happens.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what he's young. He's young.
Yeah.
So
I mean, he's
he
a
can
rookie.
be, and they made it to the Super Bowl. I It's going to be fascinating to me to see how their offense develops because their defense played really good. They could just only hold them off for so long. Um, I guess just looking at the two teams, it feels like get used to Seattle being really, really good because I their roster looks good and got a good chance to hold on to a bunch of those players.
You think they're still going to sell that team? Think like, maybe never mind.
Timing's good. Timing
It's
is
good,
good.
but it's like, maybe we should hold on to it.
You know
But
what?
I am. They're the best team, and that's the whole point of this thing. Playoffs determines the best team in all of football, best football team in the world. Anybody have any doubt that it was the Seattle Seahawks after the way that they just kind of mowed through the playoffs?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Anything else about the actual football game? I'm looking at my note. I was taking notes during the game. One of my notes, Mac Hollins, what was he wearing into the game? I don't understand, but he did score a touchdown. So
Yeah. And then what he was walking around on the field with Vrabel's high school jersey,
I just
like for pregame warmups.
different
He,
cat, man.
he had a whole plan.
It had a lot going. I thought oh no, these are this is how the game went. It's mainly commercial notes. I thought the Bosch appliance Guy Fieri commercial was pretty entertaining. I want to know what the budget of the Dunkin' Donuts commercial was with
Was
like
that AI? Is that
I
what all that was?
it it had to have been, right? You can't
Yeah,
pay all those people.
right.
There was like 12 like A-list celebrities in that commercial.
I don't know what was going on with that.
I
I couldn't hear it. I was just watching it from the other side of the room.
The only other thing I have is halftime show notes. Listen, I did not realize I am the way that I phrase it, I am irresponsibly aloof of current events. Anything going on. I like if it's not something we can talk about on the podcast, I do not care at this point in my life right now. I got a lot going on. I got a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 2-week-old, okay?
Mhm.
Got to prioritize my time. But I did not realize the whole halftime show thing that was going on. I was watching Bad Bunny the whole time. And listen, anyone that didn't do it missed out, buddy. Because the vibes were high and there were booties shaking, brother. And that language is universal. I didn't understand very many lyrics he was singing at all. But it was very entertaining, dude. I enjoyed it. I said, hey, booty shaking, vibes were high, 8 out of 10. I'm a simple guy.
I saw this deal that was a real wedding.
Oh, that's
Like
cool. Yeah,
they actually got married. I guess they had invited him to their wedding, so he invited them to get married at the Super Bowl. I think I saw that. Maybe that's not true. What?
did you read it on Twitter?
Uh, yeah, one of the
Got
news.
got to be true.
we'll say it's 60 plus percent. But I thought the set was awesome.
Yeah.
That was like the coolest part of the show for me was how intricate the set was and all the different scenes. And I guess I didn't know at first like I didn't know that those were people that were making the rows of it was I don't know, I thought it was really cool.
All I know is we had a bunch of people at our house in our basement watching on the big screen down there. All the kids we had, most of them boys, were not paying much attention to the game at all. Like they were playing football, they're tackling each other, they're having a good time, right? When the dancers started going for Bad Bunny, they got real still and sat down and watched real closely, brother. That's all I know. My 2-year-old was like, "Dad, what's going on here?" I was like, "Buddy, just watch. You got it. Hey, you're all good." Funny how that works out.
That is hilarious. Oh my gosh.
It was good, man. But wait, did Sam Darnold win MVP? Maria Taylor's on stage with Sam Darnold. I can't imagine it. It's got to be Kenneth Walker III, right?
I would think so.
This is bad podcasting. But this is the closest equivalent to us doing live. I don't think Sam.
It's not even. I figured that would be the first thing at the top of the.
I think
NFL.
Kenneth Walker III is standing behind him, so I'm expecting him to get Super Bowl MVP. I'm confident. Kenneth Walker III, Super Bowl MVP.
Has to.
But Sam Darnold, dude, don't give up on a guy. Don't give up on yourself. Great story.
That's right. He continued to get better and better, bounced around a little bit. You know, even after he had that great year at Minnesota, not good enough. You know, we'll go around you and ends up in the Super Bowl. What a story. It's impressive.
29-13. It's a random score, man.
Totally random.
Anything else?
Think that's it. Kind of a dud. I hate to say it.
Except for those booties shaking at halftime. Strong. my wife turns around. She's like, pretty good, huh? I was like, not too bad. Bad Bunny's he's good recruiter, apparently. All right, let's get to my winner and loser. But first, for all of us Sooners, there comes a time when we need help. We need someone to fight for us, and that Sooner is Jeff Marr at the Marr Law Firm. If you are battling cancer or any other life-threatening condition and your insurance carrier is either slow playing or outright denying your treatment, use the law to get the medical care you need. Marr Law Firm believes you shouldn't have to fight your insurance company while also fighting for your life. Go to see Jeff Marr at the Marr Law Firm. They turn victims of insurance bad faith into champions. And 3 things matter in banking: service, service, and service. And First Fidelity Bank's commitment to exceptional service is more than a promise. It's their foundation. FFB has been by your side for over a century, and they are honored to be a part of your journey. Banking isn't about where you've been, it's about where you are headed. Open an account at an award-winning bank today at ffb.com. At First Fidelity Bank, we go where you go.
Bishop McGuinness Catholic High School represents a tradition of educational excellence in Oklahoma City. Grounded in a faith-based education, Bishop McGuinness offers a college prep curriculum that includes 26 AP courses, participation in OSSAA athletics, and numerous clubs and organizations for students to join and grow. If you want to provide the best possible educational and spiritual development for your children, contact Bishop McGuinness Catholic High School or visit bmchs.org. Financial aid is available.
And go to opolisclothing.com and use promo code OB10 for 10% off our podcast merchandise and the best OU gear around. That's opolisclothing.com and use promo code OB10. Buttery soft and 10% off. All right, for my winner and loser, winner of the weekend. Thought about going with OU softball. We're back, baby. We are back. Now, lose game one of the Arizona series, and some people were kind of freaking out. Maybe some rival fan bases piling on us a little bit, Ted.
That's expected. That's expected.
But the Sooners' demise was greatly exaggerated. Bounced back nicely. Absolutely destroy Arizona in game two. What was it, 21-3? It's like 7 homers. Ella Parker just hitting bombs. And then clinched the series with the 5-4 win in game 3 on Sunday. So Gabby Garcia, dingers.
Yeah.
The freshman catcher, dingers. Let's go.
Yes. And even game one was kind of wild. You know, they controlled, they looked good to start off, had a nice lead, and then got into a jam, had the bases loaded on us. They hit a grand, like it was just a little uncharacteristic for closing out a game for them. But here's the thing. There's gonna be some speed bumps throughout the season because, you know, again, like we're all used to the run where we were on where it was pretty much the same exact players for 4 straight years, you know, and now you got some young freshmen, you got some transfer portal players in. It's going to take a little bit just to get to where you're firing on all cylinders. So I'm not worried about it at all.
I do think you look at points in a season, right? And I know the season just started for them, but coming back from that 4-1 deficit in game 3 of this series, like that's something that Patty Gasso can look at and go, okay, this team, and no surprise, like this team's got some stuff.
Even the opener against Arizona State, that's really good, that's an All-American pitcher. And she was dealing, okay, but they did what they needed to do to get around them, and our pitching and defense was really good. Bats were tough because you're facing a top pitcher, but yeah, I mean they battle against Arizona. So I think it's the way it played out because they were supposed to play some other teams. Did you hear that? One team was like, "Oh, we thought it was a different weekend." So they didn't show up. And the other team was like, well, if they're not going, we're not going. So it was just like, okay, well, guess we'll play Arizona every game.
I'm glad they did because it was really entertaining.
I know.
Watched a ton of all 3 games, you know?
We got more out of it, you know? So all good. I like that. We thought it was a different weekend. How awesome is that?
That can't be real, right?
That's what Patty said.
That's embarrassing, man. Like, who's the ops person? You have to fire that person, right? Like, playing OU is a huge deal in the softball world right now. It's like, you get the date wrong when you're playing OU? Are you kidding?
I would have been so pissed off as a player. Can you imagine?
Yeah. That's like, oh, I missed, like the football equivalent is like, oh, we missed the game that College Game Day was going to come and we were going to play on primetime ABC. That's what we missed. We thought it was a different weekend.
Sorry, Michigan. I know we're supposed to be in Ann Arbor, but we thought it was next week, so we're not going to play in the big house.
It's insane, dude. But my winner of the weekend, Lindsey Vonn. And I know that may sound strange because that crash was brutal and she broke her leg.
Oh my gosh. It was incredibly brutal.
The announcers encapsulated perfectly. I yelled just like they did when I saw it. But sure, would it have been a better story if like she's skiing with the titanium right knee and the ACL and meniscus and bone bruise on the left, and she wins gold? Like, yes, that would have been, I mean, it would have been one of the best performances from an injured athlete we've ever seen, probably. Like Tiger Woods in the 2008, what was it, '08 U.S. Open.
Yep.
They could Carrie Strug back in the 96 Olympics, you know?
What I was about to say, yep.
Kurt Schilling's sock game. Was it real? Was it not? Who knows? But Willis Reed, like you go on and on and on with these like legendary injured performances. Like if she wins gold in the downhill, it it goes on one of those lists, right? But things don't always go your way in sports, man. And that image of her getting airlifted off that mountain, it just I just have all the respect in the world for her. She knew the risks. She posted about it on her Instagram. Like she knew. But no one's ever going to question her toughness, question what she's made of. And a gold medal is invaluable. There's no doubt. But there's also a lot of value in every person in the world going, that lady is a stud. You know what I mean? Like she has the respect of everyone on the planet, essentially, Ted.
Well, I what for me, what was the most inspiring part of it is okay, she has the torn ACL. She very easily could have gotten the starting gate and made it down the mountain, right? Put a run together, make it down the mountain. Okay, I did it. Awesome. Dude, full effing send. Like when you're sitting there with one knee that's hanging on by a brace, it wasn't, let's just try to get down this thing. It was full send. And I love that. That's hard to do. Getting down the mountain, okay, no big deal. She could have done that. But to say, no, I'm not just going down the mountain. I'm going to go win this MFer and send it like that was just awesome. The replay, I was like, what happened? Because when she went over that lump, I was like, the course looks like it's like just a disaster right there. But I guess it just, her pole clipped that gate and it turned her in the air. Oh, and she hit hard. But that to me, that says everything. I'm not just going to try and make it down the mountain. I'm going to go win the damn race.
I I loved it. I hated seeing her
Right.
crash like that. Like it was brutal. I watched it with my kids, and
It's
my
like, here we
4-year-old was
go.
like, because I always tell my son, "Hey, you can go fast," because he's learned to ski. Like you can go fast, but make sure you're under control. And I was like, buddy, this is what happens. Like this is what it looks like if you lose control. And I said, this is one of the best skiers ever. And he just had this look on his face, like, stay in control, you know.
Yeah.
So, but it wasn't the knee; it was the pull on the gate. You know, that's what
Yep.
that was kind of frustrating for me because I wanted to see her like push it to the absolute limit and see what happened. But I, dude, what a stud! Like all the respect in the world for her, and she didn't have to do it. You know, she could have said, "Hey, I tore my ACL. I'm out, guys. I'm sorry." But I think I mean, she'd been retired for what, 6 years? She put all
Yeah.
that work in. She was like, I'm going to race.
Yep.
And
And
then it didn't go her way, but I can't wait to hear her talk about it because
yeah.
I guarantee you she's going to say all the right things. I she has become the face of the Olympic Games. She was already going to be one of them, but like she is the talk of the Olympics and she's not even going to win a medal. Like that's a special accomplishment. She was everyone always already considered her one of the best skiers ever. Like, but now I think she's inspired a lot of people.
Yeah. And the other thing is when you watch the Olympics and like we were watching the men's downhill yesterday and I I'm a decent skier. I I can go fast. I basically go straight down and stop, straight down, stop because I get so worn out with all the turns. But the fastest I've ever gone, at least on the GPS thing, full tuck, as fast as I can go, is like 65 miles an hour. And at 65 miles an hour, it was like, oh my God, I'm going to die. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to stop. And we watched the men's downhill, and like when they're going through like the slow part of the course doing the turns, they were going like 70 miles an hour, which to me is like, I don't even comprehend being able to turn at that speed. And they got up to like the fastest we saw when we were watching was 93 miles an hour. You, the point is when you watch these athletes do some of these things, you forget how incredibly dangerous it is. You know, there's people that get killed doing downhill. There's people that die doing bobsled. Like we sit here and watch these runs and you just kind of get used to it that, oh, it's cool. And, they're going fast, but it is incredibly dangerous at all times. And you just have a tendency to lose how like what the impact of what they're doing, because I can assure you the television does not do it justice.
One of the things that kind of got lost in this, did you watch Breezy Johnson's run, who won the
No,
gold?
I didn't.
You got to go watch it, dude. She has all kinds of mistakes early. And she just doesn't care, dude. She is bombing it down this course. You talk about full sit, go watch it. Like she's off balance early. You're just like, oh, this isn't going well. And then you see the times, you're like, oh my gosh, she is. And she is like some of the amount of time she spends in the air off some of those jumps, you're just like, oh my, dude, it was sick. You got to go watch it.
I'll watch it. I love it. It's crazy because like if you skied before, when you're going fast and you turn, it's like doing a squat. Or whenever you like have a compression when you're going fast, it's like I don't know, it's like a minute and a half, a minute 45, I think is what or minute 30, I think is what the men's course was taking. It's like a minute and 30, like with a barbell on your back with like 500 pounds in a half squat, just kind of just pulsing the entire time. It's incredible. I love it.
These people are insane. And
Yep.
there is there anything better than that drone angle on these downhills?
I wish they would just follow him the whole way
The
down.
whole way. Just give it to me the whole way. It's the
It's
coolest
crazy.
angle imaginable. It's like
Yep.
what drones are for. Just fly it right behind him.
Yeah, it's awesome. And like I said, if when you watch it on TV, it looks like they're going down the mountain, but you don't realize that the mountain is like this. It's like the Masters. They say it doesn't do the greens justice. It doesn't do that hill justice. Like
Oh,
it would be hard enough to even make it down the thing in one piece,
they
much less full tuck.
they need they need two drones. The one that's right behind them, like that overhead shot, like you see in a football game, and then they need one like sideways, so you can see the pitch. And maybe that'd be too distracting for them. But like if you could see both of those angles, like how fast they're going down, and then the pitch of the hill, and like how far off the ground they are on some of those jumps, like that would be incredible if they could combine those two angles with drones.
Yeah, it's insane. Like even the snowboarding, like the jumps. Like if you go out there on the course and just go down the landing area is like it's like that, and it's scary to even go down the landing spot, dude. It doesn't do it justice. And hats off to all those people competing. And again, Lindsey Vonn, she could have just she could have just made it down and got the applause at the bottom. No, I'm going full send. I'm gonna go win this thing. Love it.
Some people are built different, man.
That's right.
Built different. All right, for my loser of the weekend, thought about going with Falcons DN James Pearce Jr. Whoa.
Psycho.
I mean, this was a guy that finished third for Defensive Rookie of the Year and was arrested for, quote, aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, aggravated stalking and fleeing police after allegedly leading police on a chase before crashing his vehicle, end quote.
Yeah.
Some people
His
can't handle Miami.
his Lamborghini SUV, right?
Yeah.
Um, so you mangled a $250,000 car and you pretty much ruined your chances of paying for it.
He did have 10 and a half sacks this season, though. I Charles Davis told us tolerance, talent. We're about to find out how the Falcons feel about that as an organization.
I don't know. He had 10 and a half sacks. He may be about to do 10 and a half years in prison.
It's not looking good for him, man.
No.
It's a bad, bad deal. And you and I remember when they came to Norman, we gotta ask some people, hey, what's Pearce like? And those people I wouldn't say they were glowing reviews, dude, of him as a dude.
And that was, that was a lot of the talk going into the draft. And there was like, there's off the field issues. And some people were like, oh, he's a model kid. And other people were like, there's off field issues. Just there's off field issues. Okay.
Yeah. The way that it was put to us was like, just we hope he's able to make it to Saturday.
That's right.
And
That's
now,
right.
Falcons were hoping he would be able to make it to Sundays, and he did and had a great season. But now, I would say the best way to put it is his future as an NFL player is very much up in the air.
Very much up in the air.
But my loser of the weekend. I have not watched a lot of college basketball this year. Like I watch OU's men and OU's women, but I did watch Duke Carolina this weekend.
I wish I would have seen that.
Oh,
That's always worth the watch.
dude.
Where was it?
But in Chapel Hill.
Okay.
Duke in control, full control. Number 4 Blue Devils led the arch rivals, the Tar Heels, for every second of the game, except for the last second.
Ooh.
Seth Trimble buries a 3 at what looked like was the buzzer. Like, oh my gosh, 3 at the buzzer. Like truly stuff you practice in the driveway when you're a kid. I'm playing for North Carolina. I bury a 3 to beat Duke 71-68. Court gets stormed. That's exactly what happened. But then, Ted, they go to review. There's 0.4 seconds left after review. They have to clear everyone off the court. Duke has to heave it down the court. They don't even get a shot off. They storm the court again. It was very, what was that? That was our Bama game, right? OU Alabama 2024. Like we did it twice.
Yep.
So it was awesome. I wish they would have just let the buzzer beater stand. That would have been better.
Yeah.
But we got the double court storming. Carolina outscores Duke by 15 in the second half.
Oof.
It was, double-digit lead blown for the Dukies. But it was awesome, man. It was awesome until John Shire, after the game, Duke's coach, said that some of his staff members got punched in the face.
Really?
Yeah. Not great.
Huh.
Not great. I hope whoever was responsible for that on the Carolina side, you would assume it's dumb students. I hope they realize there's cameras everywhere in these arenas. You don't want to punch people in the face. But tremendous
like, get your Dukes game. Up, man. You know where you're at. You
Protect better be ready. Yourself.
Protect yourself.
But I'll say this, and it doesn't take pretty much anyone with eyes can tell you this. Cameron Boozer from Duke, Caleb Wilson from Carolina. Those dudes are about to be very, very rich.
Yep.
And they were both awesome in this game. It was a fantastic college basketball game. Everything you want in a rivalry game, but a very painful way for the Dukies to lose. Oh, what a shame. Duke lost.
Yeah.
Hate to see it.
I mean, it's like Duke lost, but it's like North Carolina won. It's like, it balances each other out.
There's no winners.
Right.
Those two fan bases care. Everyone else is like, oh,
it's always a great game though, man. It's always worth the watch. That's what rivalries are supposed to be. You got coaches getting punched. Awesome stuff.
One last thought on the game. They clear the court, right? storm it. Turns out there's point 0.4 left. For the love that is all holy, can we please implement advancing the ball in men's college basketball? Please.
Yeah.
Please, please, please allow teams to advance the ball with the timeout. It will make more games more suspenseful. It will result in a better product. Please. Instead of Duke having to throw it for the baseline, like baseball, pass it down there, they would have had it at midcourt, and it would have been way more exciting and way more interesting. Please.
Well, we may not have had the drama in OU's game, though,
Exactly. That would also help. It can be an advantage to the offense. It can be an advantage to the defense. Like, it's a simple rule change. Maybe first play quarters like every other version of basketball. Maybe do that. But can we advance the ball with the timeout? Please.
Yeah.
Please. It will be better, I promise.
I'm with you. And it's one of those things, like, I'm kind of torn between I kind of like the way they've always done it, but there is no doubt that, like, for what it's done for women, it makes the product a lot better. It really does.
The women's product, the structure, the way it flows, there is simply no debating. It is better than the men's product right now in college basketball. It just is.
Yep.
It just is. I feel very similarly to the way I feel about college football in the NFL. Just make the rules the same. Just make the rules the same. You know what would be great for college basketball? Defensive 3 seconds. Points. Yeah. Points. You want more people to watch college basketball? Make it more free-flowing. Some people don't know, I like the grit of college basketball. No, you don't, and the numbers prove it. You don't. People want to see people score. Make it more like the NBA game. Just make it the same rules. And that way, everyone that watches college basketball in the NBA, we can all just go, oh, yeah, there's one set of rules. This is very easy. We all understand it. Please, 4 quarters with the same set of rules. Please.
I can't argue with it. I can't. I wish I had pushback other than, well, it's just how we've always done it, but that's pretty much all you have.
And it will also make it a lot easier for the guys that go play in the G League and the NBA that then come back to college. They won't have to relearn the rules. It'll be all the same.
There you go. Understand the flow.
People don't talk about that with the Bediako situation at Bama. Like, he's having to learn the college rules all over again, That's right. Tough.
Get ready for that full court press, buddy.
He's over there like tapping his foot out of the lane, like trying not to get defensive 3 seconds. He's like, oh, wait, I can just stand here and live here. Same rules. Same for college football in the NFL. Same rules. Same hashes.
2 feet in?
2 feet in. Same formation rules. One set of rules between college and pro for basketball and football. That's all I ask.
Well, I know it's all you ask, and I know it makes a lot of sense, but I'm sorry. Buckle in. You know how it's going to go.
Deal with it, nerd.
That's right.
Birthday shout-outs. Happy 40th birthday, the big 4-0, to Nathan Birdlegs Helvey.
Oh, come on. Hit the gym. Hit some squats. Get rid of those bird legs. Congratulations to Christian Forbes on your wrestling senior day. Awesome.
Christian, I don't know you, but I just want you to know we're friends.
We're friends.
Me and Teddy and Christian, we are boys.
We know the code.
Yeah. Hey, if I ever see you in the wild, beer's on me, Christian.
Let the wrestlers be.
Yes. The amount of money I spent on wrestlers in college, worth every dollar.
I don't know if North Carolina has wrestling, but there's a good chance that whoever punched the assistant coaches may have been a wrestler.
Can we prove that someone getting punched in the face in the court storming was connected to, in some way, the shirt that Belichick's girlfriend was wearing?
That's crazy, dude. What what was that?
She knows the Super Bowl's today, right? It's like, what?
Wow.
Bill,
Amazing.
Bill. She walks out in that t-shirt. You got to say, honey, you got to change. You can't go to the game in that.
He
I
may have
mean,
bought
what
it
are we
for her.
doing?
He may have had it made for her.
That's fair enough. Maybe that relationship is that bad. If you don't know what we're talking about it, just give Bill Belichick girlfriend shirt a Google.
It's worth
You'll
it.
find the article immediately, I'm sure. That was crazy, dude. That may be the wildest thing I saw this weekend. All right, episode 604 in the books. We'll have a new podcast that'll drop on Wednesday. Just a reminder, please subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also visit our website, okbreakdown.com, for all of our stuff in one spot. We hope you all have a great start to your week. Until next time, we appreciate you all for listening. Do what you always do, Oklahoma. Take care of each other.